Artificial intelligence is already transforming our daily lives, the economy, and society. But how exactly, and what opportunities and challenges does it bring? In this episode of AI Talk, I speak with Dalith Steiger-Gablinger, co-founder of SwissCognitive and a leading voice in the global AI ecosystem. She will not only guide us through this episode, but also share valuable insights in the upcoming ones. I'm excited to dive into her journey, her visions, and how SwissCognitive supports companies and startups alike. I'm Stefan Lendy, and this is AI Talk.
This is AI Talk with Stefan Lendy.
Welcome to all of you, and welcome Dalith Steiger. Thank you for joining me.
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
Dalith, I'm all excited that we can go on this adventure, can go on this AI Talk journey together. It's an absolute thrill. But I'd like to use this episode to find out more about you and about your company, SwissCognitive. To start with you, you were born in Israel, grew up in Switzerland, and studied mathematics and business IT here in Switzerland, and then started your career in banking software development. But what inspired you actually to dive into the world of AI, of artificial intelligence?
My heart beats for the empowerment of humans to use technology to their best. In the past, until today, people always tell me I'm like a compiler. I'm bridging between the tech world to the business world, making sure both sides understands each other and see the power and the possibility that technology brings. And well, AI has countless opportunities, and this is what fascinates me.
Was there a particular moment or a certain experience when you realized AI is going to be my future, AI is going to make a true difference?
Indeed. And that was back, I think it was 2014. I've been invited to the Gartner event in Barcelona, and I passed those halls. I saw this huge billboard of this digital employee of one of the New Yorker startups. And I was totally fascinated. And to me, suddenly it was clear that's our chance. That's a chance for Switzerland. How can we actually use technology, especially cognitive technology, to leverage our services, to leverage what we have? The only natural resource we have is our brain. So what makes it is a combination between technology and our super high quality engineering. Imagine that. Imagine back when I started as a software developer at UBS, the support and call center have been outsourced to Australia back then. Then India came, then Eastern Europe. At the end of the day, we're all saying the same mess for less. It doesn't really make any sense. Now, if we're taking digital employees, we would build up support and call centers for global companies. Imagine you have a U.S. company outsourcing their support and call center to Switzerland. High quality, 24/7 available, trustworthy, especially if it comes down to sensitive customer data. This would position Switzerland as a reliable partner for international companies. So we would actually do IT export, would have a significant positive impact on our GDP.
You co-founded a company and an organization called SwissCognitive. What was your vision when launching this initiative together with your partner, Andy Fitze?
The vision was totally clear. It was a wake-up call for the Swiss ecosystem. I mean, to me, it's super important that we're thinking about the young generation. Andy and I, he has 3 boys, I have 2 girls. Somehow it's our responsibility to make sure that we have a wealthy and a sustainable ecosystem, welfare. We had so many chances. If we look what happened to the finance sector, and I don't want to deep dive in there, but it's a little bit of a problem. How much does the finance sector really gives back to the future welfare of Switzerland? So we have to step in with something. And technology, especially cognitive technology, is a chance. This is what we want to do. Wake up call for Switzerland, see the chances, and position Switzerland as a global AI boutique for the future of our generations.
Your passion for Switzerland, not just because it is your home, but what is so special about the Swiss market and AI?
Well, to begin with, and this has nothing to do with AI, what is special about Switzerland is, for example, the robust infrastructure that we have. If you don't have a robust infrastructure, you're literally not able and capable to develop anything. And besides that, obviously, we know we are known for the most innovative country, for the best universities, for one of the happiest countries. We have great schools, we have great living, top quality. I mean, all these together gives the right prerequisites to be a startup nation.
To be a startup nation. That sounds like an amazing vision. You had that vision when you founded SwissCognitive in 2016. Help me understand how SwissCognitive as a platform has evolved since then.
What we wanted to do is that people, companies, learn from each other. Learning is at the core. So what we did, we brought together various C-suites, politicians, people from education and universities to exchange what this technology can bring to us. Where are the chances? How can we leverage and scale and accelerate the companies? And when we talk about companies, we're obviously talking about the employees, the human beings. So it's all about us. So what we wanted to do is, on one hand, we started with an exchange and information platform, learning from each other's best practice and worst failures. But these days, we evolved to a network, a knowledge network that can advise companies in their strategy, that can support investors and startups in their journey.
And Dalith, this network is huge. You are collaborating with over 30 industries in more than 100 countries. So what synergies have emerged from this global approach?
I mean, we constantly learn from each other. We share proven methods and insights. This cross-sector exchange brings fresh perspective to everyone involved. So in a core, learning is at the core.
With SwissCognitive, you also play a role in AI investment and in business growth. What role exactly do you play there?
Well, we support startups by connecting them with the right investors and partners. For early stage companies, for example, it's crucial to not only get funding, but also access to a strong network and experienced advisors. Well, we help investors identifying also promising AI startups, assessing not just the technology, but also the team, the vision, the market fit. This is what is super core again. We need to build trust. And the trust is, how you say this? Bimutual is like between the teams, the startups.
It is building mutual trust, right? It's mutual trust, not just in the short, but also in the mid and long term, and building relationships, building long-term relationships that are based on trust.
And what is there, we guide the startups on their journey. So we don't only offering expertise and the connection, it's also about knowledge and support. It's not only about money. You have to have support and knowledgeable partners. So there is where innovation can thrive.
And that especially in Switzerland. You're saying you can make a difference within Switzerland, but also there is potential from within Switzerland, from academia in Switzerland, from startups in Switzerland, from innovation in Switzerland for the rest of the planet. Where specifically do you see this potential?
Well, as mentioned at the beginning, the history showed already that Switzerland, with our high quality and top engineering technology capabilities, when we put this together with technology, we are at the best. And we are belonging to the most innovative countries. What I see where we as Switzerland can even push it harder is to turn this innovation into real business. I see a lot of companies outside Switzerland using our great innovation and doing business. And this is something that I would say, not only these companies can buy our innovation, they should also invest into Switzerland, into these companies, and thrive this ecosystem together.
Dalith, let's dive in deeper. Let's talk about some of the companies that have actually made a difference from within Switzerland by either having had a global impact or by being sold to Silicon Valley. Let's talk about some of these cases here.
Well, one case that I was super amazed, that was back in 2019, if I remember right, that was Animatico, a spin-off out of the ETH that has been acquired by NVIDIA, I think, less than 2 years.
Yeah, they worked with AI avatars, if I remember correctly.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I just love this story because, they're so great guys, and we have to tell the story to the world. We have to be proud to each other. But we have also other companies like Labster, who won the Digital Economy Award, I think it was 2 years ago.
And virtual science labs. That's what they're in. Yes.
Exactly. They provide accessibility to education, to research. But we have also Cradle, Deep Judge, Jamaya, Core System. We do have a lot of Swiss startup that really made the big step. What to me is super important that we talk about them, that we are proud on each other.
And delete what I can say. Cradle, our AI-driven protein design, they will be on the show. Also, in our second season, we'll be talking to Gamaya, Precision Agriculture with AI, and Deep Judge will also be here. So those are some amazing AI startups that have truly made a difference, not just in Switzerland or Europe, but globally.
Indeed, and especially Gamaya. I remember they have been on our stages really early when we started SwissCognitive. And that was a very interesting thing to see how they developed, because they help farmers in emerging countries, for example, to increase if they harvest.
To increase their crop.
Exactly. So this is, again, most of the AI solutions, you will find the argument that supports one of the 17 UN development goals, Sustainable Development Goals: accessibility to education, against hunger, better water, renewable energy, you name it.
Right. So with the Sustainable Development Goals, we are making a positive difference for the planet. But, and this is a concern I have to raise, I am Swiss, you're Swiss, and we always talk about risks rather than about opportunities. AI is a major driver of innovation, but of course also raises ethical concerns. It is a technology, it is a tool. The question is who uses the tool. But quite generally, how do you see the balance between technological progress and responsibility, especially from that Swiss perspective?
Well, it's spot on what you said. It's not the technology, it's the human being. If the human being would be good, we even wouldn't need police. The problem is, and we know this since 9/11, you can also, murder thousands of people with an airplane, what is not really the idea to use an airplane. So to me, the first question is, and I like to mention that when I'm on stage, even between siblings, if they have kids, they sometimes tell each other, I would never raise my kids like that. I would never do this like that. I mean, how come people have the same education? They're coming from the same home, and still they do have different views on the value.
And that is fine. It is fine to have different values. It is fine to disagree, right?
It is. But on the other hand, when we're talking about responsible AI, ethical AI, it starts, okay, which country is leading? Which culture is leading? Which ethics, which boundaries? And there I see a very important role of Switzerland. Switzerland, to me, is the only country who can talk to every single country out there. Whether they listen to us or not, this is another question. But at least we are the ones who can push this dialogue and take the responsibility of trying to bring this technology in a reliable, responsible, and ethical manner.
And that, of course, in agreement with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, also based on values that are deeply rooted in Switzerland as a society, but also historically as a nation.
Indeed.
And Dalith, you're saying Switzerland provides fruitful ground for a variety of industries from around the planet. If they bring their business to Switzerland, this is an opportunity for them to leverage the potential of Switzerland for their own purposes.
Absolutely. If we look at the Swiss ecosystem, as I mentioned before, with a robust infrastructure, with the talents, with the high-quality engineering that we have here, I see, for example, a great potential for the textile industry. The combination of technology, of robots, and such classical or traditional industries like the textile industry, I think they have great opportunities to leverage their companies here in Switzerland and to grow.
And to tap into this potential and to fully understand where the potential lies, what is happening in Switzerland, we've put this podcast together, and I'm excited about all the guests that we have coming up on season 1. What are you specifically, and who are you specifically looking forward to, Dalith?
Well, I'm looking forward to everyone because I love to listen to others, to learn from others. This is so eye-opening. So this is a privilege to me to be part of that, do this with you together, because this enhances our horizon.
I'm all excited and looking forward to the upcoming episodes of AI Talk. Thank you, Dalith Steiger-Gablinger, for being here for this very first episode and for being here for the entire project. Thank you so much, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you for doing this together.
And of course, to all of you, if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, to leave us a review, give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, write some comments, and of course, share the episodes with your friends and colleagues and everyone who cares for AI and who is curious enough, as curious as we are, to learn. More about Dalith and about SwissCognitive can, of course, be found at SwissCognitive.ch. AI Talk is available on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on Swiss Podcasts DAB channel. Yes, we are on air as well. And of course, online on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and on the web at aipodcast.ch. I'm Stefan Lendi. Thank you for listening. Talk to you next time. Stay curious.
AI Talk is produced by Newbury Media and SwissCognitive and supported by Innovation Zurich and Swiss ICT.
Want to discover why Zurich is one of Europe's leading innovation hubs? Visit innovation.zurich, your gateway to Zurich's vibrant innovation scene. Meet the people and ideas shaping the future and see why the canton of Zurich is a top location for tech, science, and entrepreneurship in Europe.